right, Shalom, Akim. First and foremost, we want to give our praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua,
Ba'ashem,
Rakah, Kodash.
Double honors to our elders, the apostles of Great Millstone, and honors to you brothers who are out there doing the work in sincerity and in truth. Keep pushing. Y'all almost out of here.
Hey, today's topic is going to be entitled Duality of the Chariots. All right, Shakat, define the term duality. Yeah, but actually going to just get the origin of the word dual.
All right, this is a dual in the free dictionary, and it says composed of two usually like or complementary parts, double.
All right, so duality means double. Go ahead. Two parts. Go ahead.
Having a double character or purpose.
A double character, a double purpose. Okay, so the chariots also will have a double character, a double purpose, meaning also it's going to have like two aspects. Okay, all right, somebody get Proverbs 11:1.
Proverbs 11:1.
Mm-hmm.
A false balance is abomination of the Lord.
Right, a false balance is a what?
A false balance is an abomination of the Lord.
Is an abomination of the Lord. So, the chariots are the vehicles of the Most High, Yahushua, and also the angels. But at the same time frame, they're gonna be used to save and also to destroy, as well as they were used to create the world, and also they're gonna be used to destroy the world too. And if y'all have any linking precepts and things of that nature, go ahead. All right, Ecclesiasticus 33:14.
Ecclesiasticus 33:14. Good is set against evil.
Right, good is set against evil. Go ahead.
And life against death.
Life against death.
So it's the godly against the sinner.
The godly against the sinner.
And the sinner against the godly.
And the sinner against the godly. So basically going back into Proverbs 11:1, because the Most High is a balance. All right, you can't just have good. Okay, you just can't have evil. You have to have the opposite. Okay, you have to have the good. You have to have the bad. All right, because that would make the Most High unbalanced if the equation was just one side. Okay. Go ahead, bro.
And this Proverbs 16:11.
Mm-hmm.
A just weight and balance are the Lord.
Right, a just weight and balance is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Go ahead.
All the weight of the bag are his work.
That's right, that's right. But the point of the lesson is the dual meaning of the chariots, okay? Because it's not just one-sided. And that was a beautiful precept that the brother brought out. You got any other precept? Okay, let's get into the lesson, because the term dual means to have two aspects, to be double. All right? Go ahead. Somebody get Genesis 1 and 2.
All right, this is the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse.
And this is going into the beginning, okay? This is going into the beginning, how the earth was created by Yahushua and the angels. Go ahead.
It's the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep.
Mm-hmm.
And the Spirit of the Most High moved upon the face of the water.
And the Spirit of the Most High moved on the face of the waters, okay? Meaning that the angels, beginning with Yahushua, basically manipulated the elements to create what we see today, okay? However, the key point in there is move. Somebody get move in the Hebrew?
That word move, it's Rakah, and it says to grow soft, relax, to
move.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It says to hoover.
That's the point. Read that again.
To grow soft, relax, and to hover.
Hover, that's the point. So basically, the angels, beginning with Yahushua, were inside of the chariots. Okay, that's what was hovering over the waters. Okay, just like a helicopter. Okay, how it just be suspended in the air. Okay, that's the same way Yahushua and the angels basically was manipulating the elements through the vehicles of the chariots. Okay, so the chariots also assisted with Yahushua and the angels creating the earth based on the blueprint the Most High gave Yahushua. Okay, so just like the chariots assisted with creating the earth, the chariots is going to assist Yahushua and the elect angels to destroy the earth. 2nd Ezra 13:1, bro.
If I can just say that,
Go ahead.
there's going to be certain parts of the earth that's going to be destroyed. Because as it says in Ecclesiastes, heaven and earth abide forever. So we know that the Lord is going to destroy mainly America, certain parts of Europe, Israel. We know ultimately the rest of the earth is gonna be preserved.
That's right.
But like the priest of Bali is saying, it's a duality of the chariots. It creates and destroys.
That's right. That's right. Cool. Yes, sir. No, really appreciate that.
It's too
Go ahead, go ahead.
This is an example of the chariots, having duality.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's Isaiah 31:5. As birds flying, so when the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem, Jerusalem is a people before a place. Defending also, he would deliver it, and passing over, he would preserve it. Which is what Elder Zahal was mentioning. This is Zechariah 5:3. Just get to the point. And it says,
Hold on.
okay.
Hold on. Go ahead, Elder.
Second Ezra 13:1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night.
Okay, this is the prophet Ezra. Go ahead.
And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof.
Right.
And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
And that man is Yahweh Shai, okay? And those things that tremble under him are actually going into these fallen, well, not Salakia, the angels of Esau, going into like their military might, okay? Because what's going to happen is the chariots are going to come from the east, all right? However, Yahweh Bashem al-Shai is gathering all these armies for the valley, to the valley of Jehoshaphat, man. All right, because basically judgment has to be upon these other nations as well. Okay? If y'all got something to add, go ahead. Brother.
And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice.
And that voice is actually talking about the chariot, okay? And what's the voice? Those missiles, those salaki, those lasers coming from the chariots, man. Go ahead, bro.
Like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men, out of number, from the four winds of the heaven, to subdue the man that came out of the sea.
Nations against nations, okay? Because basically when Yahushua comes, we're gonna be in a situation called the third war, okay? And so basically once they see Yahushua, what's gonna happen is the Most High is gonna put that spirit on them to stop fighting and come against Yahushua. Go ahead, bro.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain.
Right.
Flew.
That great mountain is actually the chariot. Yahushua is gonna be in a fathership, not a mothership, okay? It's gonna be a fathership. Go ahead, bro.
And flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
And that's how gigantic the chariot is gonna be, okay? Because Ezra couldn't even see the size of it, man. And you can tell how big it's gonna be because even in the book of Zechariah, he gave the measurements of the chariot. However, in this format, in this scripture right here, hey, Ezra couldn't even see the size, okay? Which makes sense when Apostle Tahar broke down Isaiah 6 about the seraphims, how it was one gigantic chariot and you had smaller chariots coming out of it.
That's like Independence Day. You know what I'm saying? How they came out.
Go show you some of those.
Right. And those that say if he flew upon it, meaning he's gonna be standing on top of it,
Right.
When he coming back.
That's right. That's why it states area I shall see him. Go ahead, bro.
And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were so afraid, and yet durst fight.
And the reason why they durst fight because the Most High is going to place that spirit on them to fight. Okay? And you know it has to be the spirit of the Most High because if you see a tall, gigantic black man, okay, in a celestial, angelic body, which is the same thing, of course these Edomites and these other nations are going to get mad.
And they're
They're
gonna
going to be
feel
afraid.
it's like they're gonna feel that power. The scripture talk about how the earth gonna quake. You know, the water's gonna be tempest, and the water's gonna be hurricanes. You know, when those chariots into the atmosphere, it's gonna be so powerful. You know, no one has ever seen this type of power before, man. The Lord said He come back in power and great glory with the multitude of angels. Man, it's gonna be so many of them. You know, so they're gonna be scared. You know, but like the brother said, the Lord gonna put the spirit on them to fight, man.
That's right, and that's why the Most High is called the Lord of Sabaoth, Okay, he's the Lord of the armies. What armies? The heavenly armies, man.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
Lasers coming out of those chariots, man. Concentrated fire. Go ahead.
And out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Right, and this is the duality of the chariots, okay? Because the chariots were also vehicles that assisted with creating the earth, but like the elder stated, that also they're gonna assist with destroying certain parts of the earth. Go ahead, bro.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight.
Meaning they destroyed them as soon as they made contact with them, man.
And a great tempest is like a storm or a tornado type thing. So the blast was actually moving and spinning, you know, like a whirlwinds of fire kind of hitting the ground, making everything explode. And it was incinerating all them people, man.
And you know what? And that makes sense because storm, if you look up the word storm, it means to stir. So when you stir something, you know, basically it's mixing up just like you were saying. Go ahead, bro.
And fell with violence upon the multitude and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up everyone, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
And this is Ezra saying after those lasers had made contact with that human flesh, man. All right, keep going, brother.
After I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude.
Peaceable multitude is going into the elect. Go ahead.
And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awaked and said, that's it.
That's really it. Oh, yeah, y'all got scriptures up? Go ahead.
This is Habakkuk 3:3. So the Most High came from Teman, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Salah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise. And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand.
Right, those horns coming out of his hand is actually going into basically lasers leaving the chariots, man, to destroy, man.
Great power.
Great power. And this is actually going into the third subtopic of the lesson, going into the destruction, another duality of the chariot. Go ahead.
Right, and if I can say this about the duality, the ending of 2nd Ezra 13 that we just read, after he destroyed all them people, what happened after that? There was another peaceable multitude that came, and they were glad to see the chariots.
That's right.
Said some were sorry, some were had offered, some were offered. You know what I'm saying? So that's that duality that the brother's getting into. You have to just killing and slaughtering all these people. All right, it's the salvation of another.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
And really, we the same way. The Lord gonna use us the same way. We fishers right now. Then we gonna be hunters.
That's right.
Ain't nothing you can say to us then.
That's right. That's right.
It was duality in one chapter.
Yeah, and that's how bad the Most High is, man. Because unlike men, basically they can be one-sided, but the Most High has so many positions to strike on, man. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time frame, it's beautiful, man, because basically you have to have two sides, man, in order to have a perfect balance, such as studying. You can't study all the time. You got to have another way to balance you out, man. You know?
Okay,
Go ahead, bro.
Habakkuk 3:4. And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand.
That's the glory of the chariot, man, because it's going to be bright, man. All right, and at the same time frame, it's like a wheel inside of the wheel, describing those lights inside of the chariot. Go ahead.
And then like I say, it's like Elder Ariala did the lesson about the sun and the moon, about how the chariots are actually brighter than the sun, man. That's why it seems like the sun gonna be darker, man. The chariots gonna actually outshine the sun, man. You know.
And that was the hiding of his power. Before him with the pestilence and burning coals went forth at his feet.
The pestilence. And what does a pestilence does? It destroys, man. All right, going into the destruction of the chariot. Another side of what the chariot is capable of doing, man.
And I could just add on to what you're saying.
Sure.
Pestilence consumes. It consumes the human flesh. So that's what the laser beams of the chariot does. It consumes the concentrated fire consumes the human flesh, man. It was word. It disintegrates them.
Yeah, this scripture is pretty much like an example of where it show you in that movie War of the Worlds. And people just turn to powder.
Yeah, because it dehydrates you, so it's in contact. All right, go ahead, brother.
It's the book of wisdom. It's the book of wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 17. It says, "He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies." Going to what the elder brother War was saying about how he's going to turn hunters into fishermen. Man, he's going to make the Israelite elect man. All right, he going to turn him to a weapon, man. When their standard is lifted, man. It says, verse 8. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate and true judgment instead of a helmet. He shall take holiness for an invisible shield. And this the point. It said, his severe wrath shall be sharpened for a sword, and the world shall fight with him against the unwise. And that world is the elect of Israel, man. Going back to John 3:16, man, that's the world he died for, man. All right, the world of Israel and the elect are going to fight with the Lord, man. And it said, then shall the right aiming thunderbolts go abroad, and from the clouds, as from a well-drawn bow, shall they fly to the mark, man. Going back to the concentrated fire, man. You know, they're going to be like the Lord shooting arrows, you know, and it's going to hit their mark, man. You know.
I got something.
Yeah, come on.
Go ahead, brother.
Psalms 97:1. Yahweh reigned, let the earth rejoice, let the multitude of isles be glad thereof. Clouds and darkness are round about him. Righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. And the clouds and darkness is round about him are the clouds that's covering the chariots. Because when the Most High sends his chariots on the planet Earth, a lot of times they're disguised behind the clouds, man. All right. Verse 3. A fire goes before him and burneth up his enemies round about. So what's the fire that goes before him? The chariots are releasing concentrated fire to his enemies. He's done it in the past during the time of King David, and he's doing it. He's going to do it in the near future, man. His lightnings enlightened the world. The earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of Yahweh, of the whole earth. So, and that's the point, man. What you see flying across the sky, and you see that pulsing light pulsating, the records of his actions are recorded in the Bible, man. Those unidentified flying objects, actually, what they've done and the things they've done on planet Earth is actually recorded by prophets and scribes in the Holy Scriptures, man.
That's right.
So they at least know what's coming because they understand the Scriptures to a certain extent too. You know?
That's right. That's right. Y'all got something? All right. Somebody get Chicago. You want to bring out that Zechariah, bro?
This is Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and looked up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying robe. And he said unto me, what seest thou?
And because from a distance, the chariot looks like a robe, man. It looks like a dinner robe, man. Go ahead.
And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying robe. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits.
Right. Go ahead. So this is a smaller chariot. So Zechariah did not see the same chariot that Ezra saw. All right, go ahead.
Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth.
This is the curse. All right. So why is it entitled or has a characteristic of a curse? Because of the term duality, man. 2/3 of our people will be destroyed. All right. These other nations are going to be destroyed, and parts of the earth is going to be destroyed, man.
Then people get emotional, talking about we curse. You know, but that's the real curse right there, man. Cause it's gonna do actual harm to you, man.
Right.
That's what the curse is. You pray, you know, to the Lord to do harm, man. You
That's
know,
right.
but that's gonna be the harm, man. That's gonna be the real curse.
That's right. Even in the ancient world, men use foul language. Okay? I mean, that's not abnormal, man. True enough, like me and the elder was talking, you can overdo it. But at the same time frame, when it talks about the curse in the scriptures, that's exactly what it's talking about. Like the brother Yash broke it down, man.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, bro.
Then you know, back in Isaiah 31, remember you said he's gonna defend Jerusalem with it. He's gonna deliver them.
Right. That's the close eye for the duality, man.
Hey, can I say this too?
Yeah, sure.
And they also think it's gonna be some green men.
Yeah.
That's how Esau saying it's gonna be some aliens.
Mm-hmm.
But they'll know they're gonna be black men, some dark skinned men in there. You know what I'm saying? In there.
But you know how Esau knows? Because if you go to, I want to say the book of Daniel, chapter 10, talks about that Yahweh Shai, body was like the barrel. And when you look that term up, it means green. So really the little green men is the mark Yahweh Shai. You know? Go ahead, bro.
It says, Zechariah 5:3. Then say he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth.
So that's why you see chariots across the four corners of the earth, because the whole earth is cursed, man. Okay? But at the same time, the elect is going to be delivered from the four corners of the earth. Go ahead, bro.
For everyone that steal it should be cut off, as on this side.
Beginning with you Edomites, man, because you stole everything you got, man. That's the main avenue you got to your hierarchy, based on the blessing that Yahweh Shem Ashai given you, man. Go ahead, bro.
According to it, that everyone that swear should be cut off, as on that
Now,
side.
who's the main one to make you swear and breaks all the laws, man? The Edomites, man. This whole world is governed by Esau's rulership, man. All right? You have something, bro? Ashira?
Oh yeah, this Proverbs 3:33.
You can break down that.
It say the curse of the Most High is the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just.
That's right.
So you know, you curse. You know what I'm saying? The cursed people on the earth is the wicked people, man. The ones that ain't following the law, statutes, and command.
It went to you Edomites.
Right.
Because the reason why that curse is placed upon you, so you can be identified that you are the curse, man. That's the reason why your pigmentation / your melanin was removed from you, man. All right. Every other nation has hue, excluding you all, man.
And that's why you tell who different.
Right.
You pick everybody, they different.
Yeah.
Out of everybody.
And it's not in a good fashion.
Yeah.
Because these Edomites, if they were so special, why do they age the way they age, man? Motherfuckers at 17 years old look like they 59 and shit.
Right.
They not fruitful.
And they're not fruitful.
You know, they're cursed people, man.
Yeah.
You know, they have no rhythm. They have no real talent. They can't survive on the planet Earth by themselves, man. They need other nations, chiefly the Israelites, man, because they cursed, man. You know?
All right, bro.
I was watching a video yesterday, and pretty much it was an Edomite. He was talking about how there's never been a time in history like this. Like, these people gonna destroy the whole earth and everybody in it, cause they don't know what they doing, pretty much. So, like I say, Esau is weak, man. He's a horrible decision maker, man.
Yeah.
If you brothers ever been in management on the job or had to deal with them, and you get to be in the meetings and watch how clueless they are and decision making and you like, dang, how did you get this high position with all this money and you don't even know how to make decisions? You know, but that's them, man.
That's right.
It's just that it's their kingdom right now. That's all that it is. The Lord let them have their turn.
Yeah.
And guess what? They proven themselves unworthy, just like they did in the Roman Empire, man, and the Grecian Empire. All right, they proven themselves unworthy 3 damn times, man. So, hey, his time is up, man. And like he was getting into the curse, that was duality in the scriptures once again, man. It said the curse was for that wicked, but hey, for the just, hey, he's our light. You know?
That's right. That's right. I got something? All right. From the start, Isaiah 63.
Isaiah 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel.
Right, Basra would be known as America today, okay? And who is this coming from Edom? That's our Savior, Yahweh Shah. Go ahead.
Traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Hence the chariot, man. Go ahead.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
Meaning that from this vehicle, Yahweh Shah is going to do a lot of killing, man.
Like say the duality said, mighty to save.
Mighty to save too.
You know, to the go how you tread in the wine press.
That's right. That's right.
I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me.
Meaning he was the captain of our salvation, man. Go ahead, bro.
For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury.
Right, because he remembered what the Romans did to him, okay? Go ahead. It's only been 2 days, man. Go ahead, bro.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
Right, another scripture that proves how the chariot is going to save and it's going to destroy, man. That's it, elder. All right. Go ahead, bro.
When you started.
Start it. You can start it. Get to it.
All right, this is I'll just quick read to the point. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labor.
And we be on the highways every weekend, man, beginning with the apostles and the elders and the sincere man of great millstone, man. All right, and based on the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Al-Shah has given us, and also people that are outside of the camps teaching the truth as well, man. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Against the chariots, man. Because why are they going to be in fear? Because basically, they are believing what Esau has showed them in their movies, man. Okay, so they're going to be running, but at the same time frame, in their mind, something's going to be wrong because they're going to see individuals that look like the so-called Negroes, that look like the so-called Hispanics, that look like the so-called Native American Indians, and even confusing the faces, Archeum getting beamed up, man. So that's going to make them wonder. The strangeness of our salvation, man. All right, but it's the same thing. We came here in ships, and Lord willing, we gonna leave here in ships, man. All right, is that it, bro?
Yeah, that's it.
You got something?
Oh, shit.
No problem. Give Revelation 62 or something.
This Revelation 62. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him.
Right, now white horse is not a stallion or a pony, man. It's a chariot, man. Go ahead.
Had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer.
Yeah, so Yahushua's coming back in the chariot, man, okay? And his main mission is to deliver the elect and destroy, okay, these rulerships, man. All right? Got something?
Yeah,
Go ahead. You can break it down.
all right, this is the book of, this why, this salvation is going to be strange to them because the way that the churches, mingle this scripture, man. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 16. It says, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of the Most High, and the dead in Mashiach shall rise first. Because in the church they teach, like people are just going to be called up into mid-air, man. But they don't equate the vehicles of the Most High, which are the chariots, in the equation, man. We're going to be called up in the air, but we're going to be called up into those chariots, man. The church lead the chariots out, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Verse 17, it said, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with him in the clouds. And they think of like the elder brother went into, man, how the chariots cloak themselves in clouds, but they think they just gonna go through the clouds, man. Regular clouds, man.
It's a lot like the so-called rapture.
Mm-hmm.
It's BS, man.
So clouds is talking about the chariots, man. the same clouds that they're talking about in Psalms, man.
Yeah, and only the elect is gonna get raptured, man, because if you examine that word, all it means is to be abducted, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
And it says to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord, man. Because after we get taken away in the chariots, man, we'll never leave the Lord's presence again, man. You know, we going straight into the kingdom, man. You know,
and that's the marriage right there. That's how you being joined with Yahushua. And the ceremony is basically when he's gonna be giving you the crowns, man, for standing for his name so stiffly, man.
And then their reception gonna be like a marriage supper of the Lamb, man.
There you go.
When he drank that wine with the elect, man.
All right. Yeah, Luke 12:49. Go ahead, brother.
Luke chapter 12, verse 49. And I am come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if it be already kindled?
Meaning he's gonna add more to the fire, man. Okay, because the earth is gonna be on fire. Okay, and Yahushua is gonna add more to the fire. He's being sarcastic. Okay, all right. Let's get into like the deliverance part of it. And we had also the spirit started on it anyway, but we're just gonna get some more precepts to tie it on in. All right. Ashiar, go ahead, bro.
The Exodus 13:22.
Uh-huh.
He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night.
Right, that pillar of cloud is talking about the chariot, all right? And that pillar of fire is talking about the chariot, man. Read that again, bro.
He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day,
Which is the chariot, go ahead.
nor the pillar of fire by night,
Pillar of fire, which is the chariot, go ahead.
from before the people. From before the people.
Right, so as we was leaving out of Egypt, okay, basically we was being led by the chariots, man. All right? And who was steering that chariot? Yahushua, that spiritual rock, man. All right? And secondly, Jeremiah 23:8, bro.
Jeremiah 23:8. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country.
America, go ahead.
From all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell.
Israelite foreigners, go ahead.
And they shall dwell in their own land. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. Keep going.
You know what? That wasn't the one I wanted. I think it was talking about how he came out of the north, about the deliverance. You know what I'm talking about?
First started 7, we started 8.
Yeah, he started, yeah. I thought it was on John. All right, bro, you can get yours, bro.
You want 26 and 10?
Yeah, I said
That favor be shown to the wicked.
it's like 20. I said 26 and 20.
Isaiah 26 and 20. Come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed.
That's right. So basically, another part of the chariot, the duality of the chariot of how it's providing deliverance, man, protection, man. All right, because those chambers is actually talking about the chariots once the elect has been beamed up, man. All right, because those missiles are going to be making contact with the earth as the elect is being beamed up, man. But once they fully make that contact, then of course the elect is going to be beyond the ozone layer, man. All right, that's that sea of mingled glass spoken of in Revelation 15:2. Somebody can get that real quick, for sure. You got something on? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that one in Jeremiah, he just read 7.
Okay,
To make
so-
a point with this.
Okay.
Then read 8.
Okay,
I got one.
all right. Bring yours up.
And this is Jeremiah 31:8. Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coast of the earth, and with them divine and the lame, the woman with the child, and her travailing the child together, a great coming shall return therein.
Go ahead.
So until the Most High he's gonna bring us from the north country, and where the north country is, America, and the other places where we were scattered at.
That's right. That's right.
Read verse 10, so go.
10.
Got
This Jeremiah 31:10. Hear the word of the Most High, O ye nation, and declare it's in the isles afar off, and say, he that scattered Israel will be gather him, keep him, and a shepherd do his flock.
So say he that scattered Israel will gather them, man. How he's gonna do it via the chariots, man.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Now go back to Jeremiah 23 and start at verse 7.
Jeremiah 23:7. Therefore, behold, the days come, said Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that they shall no more say, the Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt.
That's the point. That's the point I was looking for. Go ahead, bro.
But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land.
That's right. Utilizing the chariots, man. Hey, bro, hey, the water, bro. That's another one, bro.
This is Baruch chapter 5, verse 5. Arise, O Jerusalem, and stand on high, and look about toward the east. And behold, thy children gathered from the west unto the east by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the remembrance of the Most High.
That's right. This truth, this is how we've been gathered. Hey, build the truth, man. Go ahead, bro.
For they departed from thee on foot, and were led away of their enemies. But the Most High bringeth them unto thee exalted with glory as children of the kingdom.
Right, if you exalted, it means you are lifted up, man. Go ahead, bro.
It's in those chariots.
Yeah, no chariots.
This is how we gonna be brought back to Israel in chariots, man. For the Most High have appointed that every high hill and banks of long continuance should be cast down and valleys filled up, to make even the ground that
Those
Israel
hills are talking about these other nations, man. These smaller governments, man. Go ahead.
that Israel may go safely in the glory of the Most High.
Right, and the glory of the Most High. Hence the chariots, man. Okay? So, I mean, you can't get around it, man. All right? Hey, the chariots are utilized to deliver, and they are utilized to destroy as well. All right? I got some. Get that
Matthew 24:48. But, and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayed his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken.
Salaki, that's not it. It was actually going into where the eagle, about the carcass. Just type in carcass, eagle.
He's looking that up and we'll get that in Revelations.
Yeah, get that Revelation 15 too.
Revelations 15:2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire.
Right. This is referring to the ozone layer. Go ahead.
And them that had gotten the victory over the beast.
The elect has gotten the victory over the beast, man. Okay? Because the spirit was upon him to do so, man. Go ahead, bro.
And over his image and over his mark.
Right. The image is this system, this Roman system, and the mark is actually the microchip. Go ahead.
And over the number of his name, stand on the seal of glass, having the harps of the Most High.
That's right. But the point is that the elect is going to be delivered in those chariots. So they're going to be seeing the destruction of America, which is the lake of fire. And their vantage point is going to be from the chariots, man. All right? Did y'all
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
So this Matthew 24:28.
Start at 27, get the point, bro.
Alright. Matthew 24:27. For as the lightning coming out of the east,
Just like you said earlier, how the chariot gonna come from the east.
and shine even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Then you know that Yahushua is coming from the east, okay? And he's going to be inside of a chariot.
And that's why we pray to the east.
That's right. That's right. Keep going, bro.
For wheresoever the carcass is,
But the carcass is actually the elect of Israel. Go ahead.
there will the eagles be gathered together.
Right, and the eagles gathered together is symbolic for the chariots. Okay? Y'all got some? When it's not, we close up. All right. All right, you know what? Take me home, bro. Psalms 91. And we start at stop it. 5.
Psalm 91:3. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence.
Right. Hence the missiles. Go ahead.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust.
And this is symbolic for the chariots. Go ahead.
His truth shall be thy shield and buckler.
Right. So meaning that this truth is basically going to protect us, man. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day.
That's right. So Lord willing, hope this was an edifying lesson. All praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai,
Waha.
Qadash.
A double honor to the apostles, the elders, and salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. A shalom.
Shalom. 28, 27, right?
20.